Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your weekly reading for September 15th to the 22nd. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in, Virgo. Well, before we do, happy birthday. I hope you're having an amazing birthday season. This is going to be yeah. Just look at your monthly forecast. There's a lot happening for you. And remember, it is eclipse month. It is eclipse season. They're in your side. Look, okay? We're building up to that. And you're coming after the lunar eclipse in Pisces. That happened over the 7th. That was really emotional for you. The North Node is in Pisces. Saturn moved back into Pisces. That's emotional. It has to do with partnerships, relationships, marriage. There could have been some, illuminations there. Yeah. And remember, you're still feeling it. Eclipses are not like a one-time, like you're feeling it. They're strong. Okay. But also the weekend over here. Yeah. The 13th, 14th, even just like the 12th, like you do have Mercury and the Sun in your sign, sextile Jupiter. That's amazing. It's going to be one of the best weekends for you. It's the best weekend of the month, okay? That's enormously special because that is your 11th house of your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, commitments, dreams, but it's also your 11th house, which is also your support system, benefactors, allies, friendships, your squad, groups you belong to, your Facebook group on bunny rabbits, whatever it is. So that is going to be spill over into the very first few days. Yep. And again, you see everything here is building up to the new moon. Solar eclipse we have in your sign. That's going to happen on Sunday, which we'll talk about next week. I just wanted to give you visual reference because this is a loaded week. You may see only a few signs or a few aspects here, but just wait. There's a lot of activity compressed into 3 to 4 days from Wednesday forward. So I really want you to pay attention because a lot of it has a big impact on you. This is definitely going to be a week of reality checks. Okay? You will remember it like your first hickey. Now, Monday, September 15th, speaking of hickey, you got Venus sextile Mars. Amazing. All right. So you got Venus and Leo still, which is really amazing. You got Mars and Libra. Really love that for you. Air and fire blend really well together. So do these cosmic lovebirds. Mars just happens to be a house guest and Venus is home right now. He's in Libra. So he's on his best behavior. Okay. Because that's Venus's home. Venus rules Libra. So this is really fun and amicable, very good for romance, of course, and love and collaborations, but also creative projects. And, there's a lot of chemistry here, a lot of compromise here as well. You do have the fact that Mars and Libra is in your second house. So there could be something here with money, because Venus also represents money. She's not only love and money and, creativity, but also beauty as well. And Mars, as you know, is action and drive and libido, right? Ambition. But here's the thing. Always remember when these two lovebirds get together, Venus is what your heart desires. Mars is how you get it. Okay. Remember, Mars is action. So you got to take that action. It's a sextile. It's a window of opportunity for you, especially with something with money coming after the amazing Jupiter aspects over the weekend. There may be something here that's really great. Okay. So go get what you deserve and do it fast before we get to Wednesday. Tuesday, actually, the moon will be in Cancer and will conjunct Jupiter. So I absolutely love this for you, all right? The moon rules Cancer. Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. This is a great day. Jupiter being luck and good fortune, expansion, wisdom. I love it. We'll talk about the second spread where we talk about lunations, asteroids, planetoids. But the other thing is Wednesday, September 17th. Okay, so this is where we get started. All right, Virgo. So you know that Mercury's still in your sign up until this point, right? So that's great. Mercury's exalted in your sign. Mercury's communication, thinking, ideas, conversations. Opposite Saturn and Neptune. Neptune would be the next day. That would be on Thursday. Mercury opposite Neptune. However, Saturn and Neptune come as a package deal. So Saturn decided to put on his aviators, put on the good belt, and become that authority that Saturn is known for. This is an opposition. There's got to be a little bit of a roadblock. There could be a little bit of uphill movement here, especially when it comes to compromise with partnerships, relationships, legal matters, contracts. And that's doubly so because you see Mercury's kind of like on the verge of moving into Libra. Therefore, Mercury's at 29 degrees here. Yeah. So it can be a little bit strong. Just keep that in mind. All right. The fact that Saturn moved back into Pisces, your opposite sign, is there with the North Node. Yeah. Was there with the lunar eclipse in Pisces. That was a very emotional weekend for you. The first weekend of September, or what was it? Like the 5th to the 7th. So remember, there's stuff that may be playing out still. What I want you to do is I want you to think about March 2023 to now. What were your biggest lessons that you learned when it came to partnerships, marriage, love, agreements, things like that. Yeah. And it can be one-on-one relationships. So it doesn't have to be exclusive to love or business or career. It can be your relationship with your sister, with your mom. It could be, your Uber driver, whoever it is, right? Saturn, who tests you, who is all about life lessons. Remember, he's giving you one last test. It's more of a check-in, but this is a week where it's more like a pop quiz. And you need to pass his test, okay? The fact that you do have Mars in Libra, you've got to throw in legal matters. You've got to throw in like lovers, partnerships. So do you see, because that's Libra's domain. So you see how partnerships and contracts and legal matters are doubled for you with this aspect. Yeah. So I just want you to be mindful of that. Mercury opposite Neptune the next day. Remember, you're going to start feeling it on Wednesday. And I've talked about Neptune retrograde. That is confusion. That is deception. That is misinformation, especially in an aspect like this. Mercury in your sign, again, there may be something here. There may be a big WTF moment. Like, are you lying to me? Is this real? Like, what are you trying to get away with something, right? You took the cookie from the cookie jar, that kind of stuff. Like, who did it? We got, there are no fingerprints. So that's what I'm saying. This is a day you want to treat like casual Friday. Try not to have important conversations. Do not pull your boss to the side and say, I need a raise. You know what I mean? Like, this is not that day. There are better days for that. And you probably already got one over the weekend. So just be, Mercury's still in your sign, exalted. That's really great. Use it. It's strong here. Mercury's strong here, So be strategic, be cunning, be analytical, be Virgo, right? Detail oriented. Take out your microscope, Inspector Sherlock, everything. All right. So just be mindful, please, around this time, especially with communication, whether it's in person, DM, if you're in line at a grocery store with a cashier who may not be having a good hair day, and maybe you say something, you just want to be mindful this day. That's all I'm saying. Remember, everything's energy, including words. So, with that said, you can use this creatively. That's the higher expression. Remember, you can always use these aspects to your advantage. Especially with Neptune, that's imagination, that's creativity, that's spending time with the arts, music, hemisync. I've talked about that all the time. Binaural beats, yeah, brings you to that high frequency. Okay, things okay at home. Take everybody to the museum, the Dali Museum. Let everyone be inspired. Yeah, play some Beethoven at work. Just get people inspired. Yeah. All right. So, and you be inspired too. Now, Mars. Oh, by the way, yeah. So, same thing that's happening this day is that Mars in Libra will be opposite Chiron, and Eris, who's Mars' sister. So you have the God warrior, you have the goddess warrior. This is like sibling rivalry. And Eris is on top of Chiron, the wounded healer. Eris is the one who threw the golden apple at the wedding to stir things up. That is Eris. So this can be inflammatory as well. All right. That's why I really want you to pay attention to this day, because it's really having an impact not only on partnerships and relationships for you, but also money. Okay. So we'll talk about that more in the second spread. Thursday, September. And by the way, yes, I'm doing this really late at night. I got that big old flashlight influencer lamp I bought. Anyway, it's bright. So I'm trying to be serious when I look at you, but also, anyway, Thursday, September 18th, Mercury is moving into Libra officially. That can be Wednesday night, depending on where you live. It's happening 6 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Mars is excited to have company. Yeah. But you no longer have Mercury in your sign. Mercury doesn't do that well in Libra. Neither does Mars, and this is your second house. So what does that mean? More emphasis on partnerships, marriage, diplomacy. Okay. This is really good makeup energy if there's been some moments. Yeah. As well as money matters, finances. Second house is, your salary, it's money. All right. So there may be, even though these planets don't do well here, there's emphasis here for you, and it's actually really good. Okay. And you probably had some experiences in the past few weeks where there may be some okay, yeah, I get it. I should make up. Libra is a sign of peace. So keep that in mind. And this is all part of your growth. Now, all the outer planets, remember, are retrograde. And so they're at a standstill. You want to be able to reassess situations at this time too. And what you're going to experience, and you may be experiencing it already, happy birthday, is that things are moving a little bit slowly, for you to thrive. But that's what these planets want you to do. Okay. It's like when you get sent to the quiet corner, right? You got to reflect. These planets want you to reflect. So from this point forward, there's going to be a lot of reflection, and that's what I want you to do, because again, from this point forward up until your eclipse, it's crunch time. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff happening that's not on the whiteboard because there's just too much. And it gets complicated. Just expect winds of change this week, because every single planet, the sun, the moon, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, every single planet, all the luminaries, except for Jupiter. Yeah, Jupiter's doing its own thing. Every single planet between 28 degrees to 0 degrees, they're all passing through those critical degree points. So this is a big pileup of a lot of crazy aspects that are happening. Okay. There's gravitas to what's happening this week, especially Wednesday to Sunday. Okay. With the outer planets at a standstill, they're the older ones, right? They're bigger. They're just bigger. They're kind of in the way for the inner planets to work for you, to do things for you. And it's all happening pretty much at the same time of the eclipse and the equinox, to be honest. And Mars moving into Scorpio. There's a lot happening next week. Now, I did say in your monthly forecast, all the planets have come out to play this month. Yep. There's the week where they're in the schoolyard and they all have rubber baseball bats. And to be honest, this is a week where you may feel a little bit of a squeeze, especially in communication. There may be something here with money as well. There may be money matters as well as partnerships. But at the same time, remember that the prison portal is still happening. Okay. So for years, it's just not as strong. Those windows of opportunity are not as strong as they were over the summer, but they're still happening. Uranus trine Pluto still happening. Okay. That's going to be all week. And that's a tight orb. And so Uranus in Gemini trine Pluto in Aquarius, that would be your 10th house of career, 6th house of work. There may be some things here where you may have breakthroughs, or you may need to have some breakdowns for those breakthroughs, breaking things down to have that breakthrough. Okay. And so I did say that this is your personal revolution. I did say that this is going to be a time where there's going to be a lot of change. Okay. And you're even seeing it on the world stage. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's impacted. All 8-9 billion people on this planet are impacted by this week. All right. And you've been seeing it play out this eclipse season, this month. And I have been talking about it on Great Awakener, which is where I can speak a lot more freely. And I do talk about the economy and geopolitical events and geophysical events and AI and all of that. Okay. Things that you can't talk about sometimes here, but this is not a place for that. So just expect change that you will be going through. Pluto is all about transformation in your sixth house of day-to-day activities. All right. So you're going through enormous change. All the planets between 28 to 1 degrees, except for Jupiter, it is like a reset. Yeah, you already had a big reset over the weekend with the Mercury Cazimi. So this is different. Yeah, because there's a lot of configurations. There's what we call yods. There's what we call kites. It's the whole shebang, everything. Okay. And remember, all these planets that are either at or passing through those critical degree points and in aspects that are in opposition or squares and whatnot, it can feel a little extra. And there's even like a kite formation that does involve Mercury, Uranus, and Pluto. And that's why I'm bringing this to your attention. And Neptune as well. And Neptune is actually at the apex. So Neptune is like a beacon sending you signals this day to use your imagination. Neptune is still in Aries, okay? Your 8th house. What is the 8th house? It's death and rebirth. It's transformation. That's Pluto's home. So there's something here that's asking you to really tap into your spiritual warrior. Think creatively. Use your imagination. Neptune it's still conjunct Saturn. It doesn't matter that they're in separate signs. Neptune's at 0 degrees. Saturn's 29 degrees separating, but they're still within 2 degrees of orb. That's strong. And believe it or not, Saturn, despite the fact that, he's really, this week, he's still helping you turn your dreams into reality. That's what Saturn Neptune conjuncting is doing. But sometimes he makes you do it his way. All right. So never forget that you create your reality. This is all part of your spiritual journey. And these aspects are allowing you to make the changes that you need. But also with the fact half the planets are retrograde, make the changes you haven't made yet. Yes, you have the South Node in your sign. And so you're about to approach a new moon solar eclipse in your sign. This week is to out with the old, okay? In with the new. This is a big week for you, Virgo. And remember, everything is energy. What you put out there, you receive in kind. And if you've been vibrating at that high frequency of compassion and love and gratitude, this is going to be a cakewalk. You are going to be the king of the hill, the queen of the hill, prince of the hill, mountaintop, wherever you want to be. It doesn't matter, wherever you want to be. All right. Now, the good news is that the air trine. Yeah, we have that grand air trine. I told you there's so many things. Okay, so I'm going to focus on this because it does involve Mercury, your ruler. Mercury in Libra, yeah, trine Uranus in Gemini, and trine Pluto in Aquarius. And remember, Uranus is trining Pluto. This is at that early 1 degree point. Okay, new beginnings. So this is really great. It's like a life raft, like a floaty, okay, because it's all air signs. Yeah. Anyway. This is to be honest, it's really nice for you because what it's doing is Pluto in Aquarius is in your 6th house of work, right? Colleagues, employees, things like that. You've got Uranus and Gemini in your 10th house of career and fame and public recognition and honors and achievements. And then you've got Mercury in Libra in your 2nd house of salary and income. So there's likely movement here. in that area of your life. And if you're not here for career or work, it's just your everyday activities and whatever you're passionate about that builds self-confidence, that gives you the sense of self-worth, self-value, even things that you value, okay? And even health is still a big thing for y'all. Okay. The other thing is that, and remember, these trines work in your favor. So they do have the nature of Jupiter. You could be, Mercury's at the helm here. So it could be you making a big announcement, receiving good news, writing a compelling letter. You're Virgos. Maybe you're editing something. Message in a bottle energy. Okay. Pluto is just really activated. So what does that mean? As part of this air trine, Pluto in your 6th house is saying, remember, Pluto's ruler of the underworld. So what's beneath the surface? What has to come out? What needs to be revealed? What is the transformation that you seek? Do you secretly not like your job? Do you secretly think that you need to see a personal trainer? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's gotta be some, Pluto's like really like digging up that truth. Yeah. So Mercury being intellect and mind, again, you can use this in terms of your self-worth and seeing you in that light. And it's all air. It's all air. So it is a time to be social and to network and to communicate. And I can guarantee you will be anyway with Mercury opposite Saturn. Just do it diplomatically. Now, and also Libra is peace, like I said, right? Mercury's here in Libra. So it can be making peace, let bygones be bygones, forgive and forget, that kind of energy. Uranus trine Pluto, part of that prism portal. Remember, it's a core aspect driving you into 2026. And it's all about innovation. It's all about breakthroughs. It's your awakening, a wake-up call energy. All right? So there may be some things that you may consider. And if it has to get to the point where it's your tower moment, right? Phoenix rising from the ashes. You've got to do what you've got to do, because at this point, you are just days away from your new moon solar eclipse in your sign. So something at this point has to go. Something you've been holding on to has to go. The South Node is in your sign, Virgo. Okay? Just letting you know, because Saturn may make you do it the hard way if you're not doing it yourself. Uranus is going to do the same. All right? Now, and also, if you are watching for your sun, if you're like Virgo, it is your birthday season, I want to make this very clear. Sometimes the sun isn't about you. Okay. Sometimes it may be, someone close to you. There may be something here. So it could even be like maybe your boss is leaving around this time, or there may be, you know what I mean? Like there could be something like that. All right. So next is, this day the moon will be in Leo, and it will trine Ceres, which is your planetoid, by the way. All about nurturing, self-nurturing, self-care. Ceres is in Aries, though, so there may be something here about you reflecting on your transformation, but we'll talk about it in the second spread, because Juno will also be sextile the sun in your sign. You're going to love that. We'll talk about it in the second spread. Juno being Jupiter's wife, partnerships, relationships. So again, remember, that's just a big theme playing out for you this entire week, and contracts. Now, Friday, September 19th, Venus moves into your sign. You're going to love this. This is Venus. Love, money, relationships, creative projects, beauty. What makes your heart sing? That's Venus. But Venus in Virgo, that is everything that I just said that Venus represents. It's you. Now, scrutinizing, because Venus in Virgo is all about the details. It's like picking things, right? Getting down to the nitty gritty, really, especially like the health of your relationships. And yeah, that can be work, like colleagues, employees, or your intern from Dallas, whatever, wherever, right? It's also like penny pinching energy too, FYI. But you've got Venus in your sign, so that works in your favor in a really big way. The other thing is that, remember the mosh pit of aspects that I told you was happening with the odds and kites and air trines, everything that's happening this week. That's still happening over the weekend. All right. So this is actually on Friday. We do have a yod that's really powerful, but I want to address something else that's just as powerful is the fact that we have the sun and the moon, the two luminaries, right? We have now Venus and the South Node, all in your sign. And Saturn does not like that. Okay? Because they're all opposing Saturn. So there may be something here where, again, an authority, a boss, a parent, a grandparent, an actual, I don't know, forest ranger, you may not see eye to eye with, or it could be you, okay? With your children or your students or, you know, the driver. Anyway, lots of stuff here to consider, okay? Just know, I've told you this before, with the South Node in your sign, don't be hard on yourself, okay? Do not take the blame for things that you're not, you know, that's not, you didn't take the cookie from the cookie jar, then don't say that you took the cookie, right? Do not be self-critical. That can be those lower expressions of that, you know, South Node and Virgo energy. So you want to channel that energy into the higher expressions, which would be self-care and service to others, because everyone in the world will be experiencing these aspects. And everyone's on a karmic journey, especially with the South Node here, the South Node of the moon, the karmic South Node, right? So just please do not be hard on yourself and know that you've got something great waiting, and it's this new moon solar eclipse, okay? And the other thing is that the moon is actually gonna be moving into your sign on Friday. So actually Thursday, it's basically the moon is going to be traveling with Venus together into your sign, just passing Mercury. So very interesting. We'll talk about in the second spread, but therefore you have the moon conjuncting Venus in your sign at 0 degrees. We'll talk about that. A lot of new stuff even before you get to the new moon. Saturday, September 20th, Venus in your sign will square Uranus in Gemini. So this is a moment where you may have some surprises, unexpected news, a wake-up call. You're awakening, especially when it comes to love, money, relationships, creative projects. There really may be something here with career. All right? Surprise news, surprise announcements. Again, like I said, it could just be like maybe a colleague announcing, I'm leaving, I'm going to Apple, whatever it is, right? Where I'm like, anyway, just be very mindful. This is strong because you have to remember everything else that's happening, all right? So they all kind of just blend in together. The good news is that air trine really is going to help you. And remember, Uranus wants you to shake things up anyway, and wants you to free your mind and wants you to expand your consciousness and be willing to take risks and learn and be curious and most of all, have your breakthrough, okay? So just keep that in mind. This is going to be a strong week. There's got to be a lot of energies. And on Saturday, you do have the sun in your sign nearly like pretty much opposite Saturn to a T. So partnerships, relationships, all of that. Okay. All right. Are we clear? And then contracts as well, and marriage and legal matters. There's just maybe something here that you have. We really need to, you know, keep your vibration high. Stay frosty, be cool. You're going to be good, all right? But the biggest thing of all is ask yourself, over this weekend, what do I have to surrender before this eclipse in my sign takes me on a brand new path? All right? Okay, great. And yes, thank you to everybody who has signed up. I've completely forgotten that your promo codes still work. That sale's still going on. The founding member sale, we got 50 to 75% off. Y'all, thank you so much. I'm like, everyone that's joined, it's been so exciting. And we do have, I just brought on board Alex Janelli, a certified hypnotherapist. There you go. Free hypnotherapy. All of that on Great Awakener. I do my best for y'all. All right. So let's get started, Virgo. Let's see what's going on for you for September 15th to the 22nd. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And that's the other thing. Okay. I want to thank you all for being very patient, all your kind comments. I will eventually maybe do a video on the health issues I've been going through. And if you're watching this on, well, you know, whenever you watch it, it's like Ruby has gone through her stem cell thing. And anyway, so I'll do a whole thing. But thank you so much again for just... Thank you for being you, Virgo, and happy birthday. What an amazing birthday season that you're going through. And honestly, this new moon, the solar eclipse, it's big. It's big. A lot of big changes that you can expect. Yeah. Oh, and if you want, I forgot the Great Awakener. All the details are in the description box for your promo code and checkout and everything. I'm trying to remember because because the audio issues I have to work on and it's really late, as you can tell. Got this big old. Let's get started. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, Virgo. It is gonna be a week. It's gonna be like great, but you're gonna have to get through some things. Okay. Now, let's see. Two of Swords. What did I say earlier? What's got to come out? What's got to come out? There's something that's got to come out. Okay? There's something that you have to accept the reality of. There's something here that it just feels for me. There's this tightness. There's this, there's this resistance. Okay? You even see in this card, she's got her back turned to the moon and the sea, right? So her emotions, her feelings, her intuition, all of that. She's blindfolded. These swords, they're going to get heavy. They're going to get heavy. Swords are up here, by the way, right? The mental soup, the air soup. So just be mindful. You might move into this week. You want to see where you're going, okay? With all these aspects that are happening. So there could be some like decision. There may be something that you're just kind of like, I gotta, I'm at a standstill now. I got to make that decision. Okay? Or choose a path. You got the moon in the heart of your spread. Remember, the moon's going to be in your sign over the weekend. You got that new moon solar eclipse that you're going to start feeling. Okay? And so the irony here is that you got the Two of Swords attributed to moon in Libra. You got the moon attributed to Pisces in tarot. The moon is associated with Pisces. So moon in Libra. Libra represents partnerships, relationships, and contracts and marriage. Pisces is your opposite sign. You just had a lunar eclipse in Pisces. That would rule your 7th house of partnerships, relationships, marriage, contracts, one-on-one relationships. So if you don't break free from that, it could just sit in you and dwell. You want to let your intuition guide you. Okay? You really want to explore things emotionally because it's part of your growth. I said that. You even see, you're that crayfish here. You see that crayfish? Where am I? Which computer? Okay, sorry. This one. Okay. That right there in the moon. You got to get past the dog and the wolf. That represents evolution, by the way. Remember, I talked about Pluto and Aquarius, part of your growth, part of your evolution. And you got to get to the sea. You see those 2 columns here? You got to break them down. Okay? You got to break them down. And, by the way, I'm going to show you something here. The moon. Card 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. That's the Hermit. That's you. The Hermit is attributed to Virgo. It's your card. Look at whose face is in the moon. So you really got to go within. This is a week where you're going to have to do some reflection because there can be some things that, it's the moon. It can, with full moons, people get a little, yeah. You got, yeah. I've talked about the moon. I just did a video too on the moon, and I talked about, like, I tell you all the time, the moon controls our ocean tides, water. Yeah. We're made of 70% water. The moon affects us too. That's why the moon is associated with like emotions. There's something here you've got to really go deep for, because it feels like you're holding something back. And you can set yourself free with the Eight of Swords in your challenge area. Okay? But again, there's something you have to accept. You got the only two people in all of tarot that wear a blindfold. There's something you have to see. You got to go within. You're going to do that reflection. You got the Six of Pentacles, which is great because there is an element of service to others here. You see the very philanthropic man supporting others. And so that's you. That's Virgo energy. That's, Virgo rules hospitality. And so I really love this. It's almost like there is a sense of like, for a lot of you, it's going to be you're seeking that support this week. But either way, it's very spiritual. It's in your crown. There's something here where it's like, in order to even get to this point, you have to go within, right? Because there's something you've got to feel for you to take that inspired action to support others. And also remember what I said. You put that energy out there, you receive that support. It works both ways. So look at that. You got that Seven of Pentacles too. Remember I said there's going to be money matters. Yeah. And so you got the Six and the Seven of Pentacles. And so really take that time this week to know what you want moving forward. Yeah. Because it seems like there is a lot of what you want spiritually. And I think there is a sense of like just generosity, and you want to be that person that you're Virgos. Virgos are known to support others and to help others and to guide others, right? So it's almost like just coming back into your element. But that Seven of Pentacles, he's looking at the past. We can't do that. Remember what I said. What do you have to surrender? And so it can be a job, it can be a career, there could be something here that you're at that point, or like, I gotta just make a completely big change. It's eclipse season. Yeah. And even if it's not a change, this is where it starts. It's in the root of your spread. This is where you recognize like, something might not be working the way that it should be, because we're moving into this new era. But if I completely ignore it, nothing changes, right? And so it can have to do with work, career, money, as you can see here. But Pentacles are a physical reality. So it could actually be whatever you're investing your time into, right? Relationship. It could be a big hobby of yours. Whatever it is, just take that pause and move forward. But you've got to let some things go. King of Swords in your future. Great. Okay. There's power. That's authority. That's leadership. That's you making it's like your breakthrough, making that amazing decision that you need to make. There's something here that is very powerful. Okay. This is you also being in your element. This is, the King of Swords is, I'm going to show you. He is the only king that looks directly at you. He's got nothing to hide. No one can hide anything from him. Yeah. Because he says he's the smartest person in the room. Yeah. So this is you. You're ruled by Mercury. You're the analytical ones. So again, there is this kind of like this, once this is cleared, a lot of emotions, getting in touch with your emotions. There's a sense of like just coming back into your power. And it does look like there is possibly a big decision you're going to make. And it could be as a leader. So maybe like your team or your family, or there's something here. Okay. It also looks like there's someone that could be causing this. Yeah. someone that may be close to you, that may be in a place where they're not in a, could be in a, like they need your support, and it could feel a little like you may feel held back from that, or maybe a little drained. All right. So just remember, be in touch with your emotions. Don't be afraid to do that. You're going to be fine moving forward. Now let's get to your stuff, Virgo. If you like this reading, be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments, share, and all that. But I really want to hear from y'all. It is your birthday season, and y'all are amazing, Virgo. So, and I love y'all. All right, Ruby's a Virgo, September 11th. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're going to get a little birthday. Oh, I did the wrong end. That was really loud. Did you hear that? I'll give you the world twirl. Anyway, okay, so you're good. You got the Ace of Cups. Have it. Have your moment. You've got to work with this first. Okay? You see what's waiting for you on the other side. The Ace of Cups, interestingly, has come out for a lot. If you're a cross watcher, you've seen the Ace of Cups come out a lot. So yeah, this is the Holy Grail right here. This isn't cup half full. This is cup overflowing. This is tears of joy. You can have this. You can have this. You have to make room for it. And aces bring you that new opportunities, right? New path, new journey. It's a gift from the universe. And you do have that new moon solar eclipse waiting for you. All right. So this is really wonderful. It can be a relationship. It can be a new job. It could be you starting a new career path. It could be anything that you want that's going to bring you this emotional, like nirvanic moment. Rapturous. It's amazing. The Chariot. Yeah. I feel like there's going to be like once this, we work with that. Wow. There's so much movement. You got the Chariot with the King of Swords. I love that. The Chariot happens to be Cancer. And remember, Cancer rules your 11th house, okay? So your future hopes, wishes, long-term goals, commitments, dreams. You see his canopy, all the stars in the canopy. He's just going straight for it. Nothing's holding him back. You want to see, look at him. Look at his Chariot. Look at him sitting there. You see what he's sitting in? He's sitting in cement. He's not going back. No, he's moving forward. This is all about just finding that willpower. Yeah. It doesn't even matter which direction you go. You see the two Sphinxes here? Sphinxes have like a sense of mystery to them. Two different paths. They can go opposite direction. It doesn't matter. You're in control. You're in control. Okay. So this is powerful right here. This is you getting your power back. Going after everything that you want. And it does seem like there's someone in on the ride. Someone like on your journey with you. Okay? That feels really good. Now, 5 of Wands. That's fine. Where it is in your staff, it really is just saying that, like, well, two things here is like you're just over the noise. Okay? And you don't want it anymore. So that's great. Someone's got to rise above. And then there you go. The noise stops. 4 of Wands. Final outcome. That's celebration. That's joy. That's marriage. This is getting a new job. That is starting the job that you want. That's everything. That's like milestone. It's the hurrah card. But most of all, it's freedom. It's freeness. They're outside the castle. There's no restraints. There's no constraints. This is wonderful. So a lot of domestic energy involved with this card, like marriage or getting proposed to or even moving and things like that. Things like that, okay? But yes, it's wands, so it can be career related, profession. This is wonderful. You got a lot to look forward to. But let's work with this, okay, Virgo? Now, next week, you got your eclipse. We'll talk about it, but that's not it. You got Mars moving into Scorpio. It's been years. You got the equinox. You got Libra season. A lot of attention on money. And then, yeah, second spread we're going to talk about. Well, yeah. We'll talk about all those aspects. There's a lot. With the asteroids, the planetoids, tier 3 members. You know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. Really good and legendary members. And yeah, we will. I want to see what cards, when you pull cards that overlap your main spread, that's your biggest message takeaway. Oh my gosh. Okay. Virgo, thanks so much. Look at my hair. Virgo, thanks so much. Y'all are amazing. Next week. Oh, we already talked about that. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, and happy birthday. I hope that you have a wonderful birthday season. Do something special for you. Treat yourself, okay? Especially when Venus sextiles Mars, all right? Y'all are amazing. I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.